Booktopia is coming back. The two-day-long event will be held at the Northshire Bookstore on Friday and Saturday, May 5th and May 6th. It will bring together a group of authors and readers to discuss books and share their mutual joy of novels and fiction writing across a series of events at the bookstore in Manchester and across the street at the First Baptist Church. Booktopia started as an event in collaboration with Books on the Nightstand, a podcast hosted by Ann Kingman and Michael Kindness, both sales representatives for Random House Publishers. Now it continues on at the Northshire Bookstore with exclusive author events, presentations, book signings, meet and greets, and a celebrity dinner. All told, 9 writers will be on hand to discuss their books, some of them very recently published. Davith Wood, the events manager at the Northshire, gave us the overview on what will be happening.
But the Friday morning starts, and the first thing, besides a welcome from Nicole Ihaz, one of our new owners, is a wonderful part. That's one of my favorite things to do, and a lot of the booksellers here too, and then the audience members love it, is what we call the gift. This gift card is burning a hole in my pocket, in which booksellers recommend some of their favorite recent titles. So I'll be recommending a few of those. The master bookseller Alden will be. Kathy Taylor, Rachel Purcell, my colleague from Saratoga Springs, will recommend a few children's titles, some author titles, and also our floor manager, James, will be presenting those books. Then there's a little break for lunch, and then we move into the sort of the more formal author panels. And each author that we have 8 of these authors coming, they all present their new book twice. Solo presentations that's run throughout the day on Friday and then continue on through Saturday. Friday night is a big celebratory dinner at the Inn at Manchester's Event Barn. Amy Chamberlain will be catering that. It will be lovely. We've been working on the menu this morning. And then there's also Stephen Kiernan will be hosting a trivia contest that night at the dinner with some book questions, and there'll be little prizes for the winners. And then on Saturday, we've got another rack of events, or those solo author events. So there's that, and then it all concludes at the big event on Saturday night, which has always been free and open to the public. So no need to register for that, but that's going to be at 6 o'clock on Saturday night. And all of the 8 authors will present for about 10 minutes, talk about their books, about book selling, book reading, bookstores, banned books, those kind of things, followed by a group signing in which all of the authors are present, signing copies of their books. And then that's it for Booktopia. I mean, the thing is about Booktopia is just it's a really sort of special event. Hosting author events all the time, you can really see it. The electricity that comes in as they sort of descend on Manchester the Thursday night before Booktopia, it just sort of swells the store with this feeling of real joy and love for books. And they are the most passionate readers that I think I've ever met. Huge book lovers, huge book fans. And we call it a weekend where authors and readers meet, and that's really the case here. One element that is another special thing about Booktopia is that the attendees usually have bought and read all of the books that the authors have written before the event. So it really makes for special Q&As, and they have a real nice connection with the authors. The authors love it too, because it's really great for their promotion, for their publicity, and then they have these really wonderful conversations and are really thoughtful with the attendees. And I know from having hosted it in the past that a lot of the authors are sort of know about Booktopia already and feel really delighted to get to be a part of it.
There will be a few Vermont-based writers in the mix with new books coming out as well. One of them is Stephen Kiernan from Charlotte, Vermont, and a former journalist with the Burlington Free Press. He spoke about his new book titled The Glass Chateau.
Here's the thing. I mean, the people who come to Booktopia are a different kind of reader than I encounter generally. I'll give you an example. The first, typically if you have you do an event about a novel you've written, and you take questions from the audience, and somebody will say, where do you get your ideas? Well, that's a very nice question. I'm happy to speak about the rather silly and kind of idiosyncratic way that I get ideas. But the first question I took at the first Booktopia I went to the questioner said, I've just read your previous novel, and that came out in 2015, and the main character is a hospice nurse, and I know that you published a nonfiction book in 2006 about hospice, and I'm wondering how your ideas of human mortality have evolved in those intervening 9 years. Like, it's a very, very different kind of atmosphere, and that makes it really, really fun. Yes, yes, I have a novel, The Glass Chateau, that's coming out on June 19th, and I very much wanted to be able to provide them kind of in advance, but it's too far in advance. The books won't be printed and ready, but I do hope to talk about that. Right, every book has its challenge. In this one, it was the first draft wrote itself. It was a breeze, and then I sat down to really make sense of it, and it was an enormous revision effort to get it coherent and short. It was very casual in being very long, and so I needed to really take a lot out. And I actually spent more time rewriting the book than I did writing the first draft. That was the particular challenge of this book. Each one brings something new to the table, because I like to think anyway that each book you reach a little further. You test your imagination, you test your narrative capacity and your ability to create a scene and to have characters that feel like real people in the reader's imagination. And so you push a little more each time. And I think if there wasn't a challenge, it wouldn't work for me. The challenge is part of the fun of it.
Then we had a chance to chat with Sarah Strohmeyer, who, when she's not writing novels, and she has had several published, serves as the town clerk of Middlesex, Vermont. She discussed her soon-to-be-released new novel, We Love to Entertain.
Right. We Love to Entertain. It's coming out from HarperCollins next Tuesday, the 25th. So the timing is great. And it's the first book out of the 20 I've written that's set in Vermont. So the book I wrote my most recent thriller was called Do I Know You, which was set on Cape Cod, about a super recognizer. And this is about a celebrity rehab couple who steal a prime piece of real estate out from under a Vermonter, and go missing. So it's actually, for me, it's very timely. I don't know how people who are not into property tax sales might go. I had to redline out a whole bunch of stuff about property tax sales because I find them interesting, but I'm not sure the average reader does. But it's twisty and it's fun. And there's a lot of high-end rehab references, home rehab, which I really like because I'm an HGTV fan. But also as a town clerk, I've seen people come here, and I'm sure you have where you are, just snap up properties left, right, and center during the pandemic for sometimes double what they're appraised at. And now we've got this high-end, we've got, people from all over the place living in big high-end homes, and, there are clashes. So it's I feel like it's timely, and I wove in some of my town clerk experience. So that's been kind of fun. And yeah, it was a fun book to write, and I hope it's a fun book to read. That's the great thing about this career choice is I've made the best friends by being an author, really great lifelong friends, even if we don't see each other for months or even years. You're just great friends. It's a great community to be part of. And whenever you go to a conference like this, like Booktopia, as a reader, you're going to be inspired by all these great books and to read, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It seems like a really fun event. But also as an author, you're inspired by your fellow authors, and it's rejuvenating. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be the second conference I'm going to in about 2 weeks' time, and I know by the end I'm going to walk away with a lot of book recommendations and a great TBR pile. So it's going to be I'm going to try to make it as the most fun for those in attendance as possible. That's my job there.
Booktopia returned last year after a pandemic-induced 2-year hiatus. And for readers, book lovers, authors, and those who want to be authors, this will be one to mark on the calendar. For more information, visit the Northshire Bookstore's website at northshire.com/events. For the GNAT-TV News Project, I'm Andrew McKeever.